Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley. Dennis Bragg is off tonight, and Happy New Year. The snowboarding community is shaken tonight after two deadly accidents out on the slopes. We told you last night 2 men in different areas of Flathead County died in separate snowboarding accidents, one near Blacktail Mountain, the other at Whitefish Mountain Resort. MTN's Nicole Miller has learned more about these tragedies.
22-year-old Connor Heidegger of Rollins and 28-year-old Scott Robert Hornstraw of Alberta lost their lives in separate incidents while snowboarding Saturday in Flathead County. The first incident occurred off Blacktail Road in Lakeside. Heidegger was out of bounds and some distance from the Blacktail ski area when he attempted to jump off a cliff and died from blunt force trauma.
He never even came to the ski area. He was off to the side of the road. So, skiing inbounds where you have the support of patrol is important. And we responded as Good Samaritans because we heard of the call through the Lakeside Quick Response Unit.
The second incident occurred at Whitefish Mountain Resort. Hornstraw became separated from his group. Flathead Search and Rescue found him early Sunday morning, upside down in a tree well. The resort released a statement saying, quote, "We are deeply saddened by this tragic accident. Any death at our resort is an event that impacts the entire Whitefish Mountain Resort community. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends as they cope during this difficult time." Riley Columbus with the resort says it's an unfortunate reminder of the inherent risks of the sport.
It's an unfortunate risk of our sport that tree wells as well as deep snow can be a very serious hazard.
Columbus says when the powder is fresh, guests should take some extra precautions.
The best way to avoid this kind of a tragedy is to avoid deep snow and trees completely, stay on groomed runs. However, if you are going to go and enjoy the trees and enjoy the powder, you should be skiing with someone else, and you should always keep your partner in sight.
In Flathead County, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
The last time Whitefish Mountain Resort had a fatality was in 2014. Well, it is back to work and school this week for most of us, so let's toss it over to Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost, who has our first forecast tonight. Aaron.
Yeah, we're seeing some pretty quiet conditions to kick off 2018 across western Montana. High pressure building in, giving us these quiet conditions, but as we all know, high pressure in the winter months comes with inversions and some persistent fog, and that's what a lot of our valleys did see today, especially in the northwest quarter of the state. This is Hamilton earlier, our First Security Bank ICAM. You can still see those clouds hanging on again to the northwest quarter of the state and a bit into the Missoula and Bitterroot valleys. This is likely to strengthen again tonight because we're not going to see much of a change here, at least for the next 24 hours. We do have changes in the forecast. Those details on the way.
A snowmobiler caught in a slide is saved by his friends after an accident near Mount Jefferson. That's near Island Park, Idaho, not too far from Gallatin County in Montana. MTN's Kenneth Webb has our exclusive report.
A group of snowmobilers witnessed their friend Clark Johnson trying to high mark a steep side of a mountain when an avalanche occurred, burying Johnson along with his snowmobile. Luckily, his friends were there when it happened.
His partners were able to respond quickly and dig him out, and he was okay. Some reasons he was able to be recovered quickly and survive is because they had the proper rescue gear. He had an avalanche airbag pack, which helped him stay closer to the surface. We don't know if they had beacons, but his partners did have shovels and were only exposing one person at a time to that slope. So he was the only person caught, and they were there and able to get to him quickly and dig him up.
The conditions over the weekend were favorable for avalanches as avalanche warnings were posted all throughout southwest Montana Saturday.
So anyone who's traveling in the backcountry should start with checking out the avalanche advisory and current weather and snow conditions and make a plan for the day based on that, whether it be avoiding avalanche terrain altogether or picking out specific slopes they're going to avoid. And then they need to carry that rescue gear. An airbag pack is good, but the 3 essentials are an avalanche beacon, a shovel, and a probe, and everyone in the group has to have that gear and know how to use it. Only exposing one person at a time to that avalanche terrain is one big thing that made this incident a lucky, fortunate outcome.
The Gallatin County Search and Rescue also wants you to be safe if an incident like this occurs while you're in the backcountry.
Main thing, like I say, don't take things for granted. You never know. I mean, it's a beautiful day, sun is shining. We might be close to zero by now, but somebody who is unprepared, clothing, equipment-wise, this could turn into a very disastrous day in a very short amount of time if something happens to them that they're not prepared for.
Get his face. Get his face. Just clear his face and get his mouth. Get your fingers in his mouth if he can't talk.
Reporting from Gallatin County, Kenneth Webb, MTN News.
Again, he is going to be okay. Well, with the start of our new year, Montanans will be paying more to register our vehicles. Lawmakers approved new fees last year to help fund the state motor vehicle division. Starting today, MVD will add a 3% administrative charge to its current fees, including vehicle registration. There will be an additional $825 fee on light vehicles worth $150,000 or more, and an $800 fee on motorhomes worth $300,000 or more. Also starting today, Montana businesses that hire workers and offer them training through the state apprenticeship programs will have access to a new tax credit. California today became the latest state to legalize recreational marijuana. It is expected to bring an economic windfall and possibly pave the way for other states to follow. Danielle Nottingham has details from Los Angeles.
A ribbon-cutting ceremony kicked off the historic day at a dispensary in Oakland, where hundreds of people lined up to buy recreational pot starting at 6 a.m. Harborside is one of the first shops in California to get the new city and state permits. Henry Wykowski was the first customer.
It's been a long time coming.
California joined 7 other states and the District of Columbia, where recreational marijuana is legal. Massachusetts is set to begin sales in July.
A couple of blackjacks and a lemon tree would be good.
But California is the largest market in the nation, and that has many other states watching closely.
It's going to send a message to other states that legalization, regulation, and taxation of marijuana is the correct public policy decision and that it works.
Buyers have to be at least 21 years old and can only purchase up to an ounce of recreational marijuana. Other restrictions include limiting the level of THC in each package of edibles. Recreational pot also costs more than medical marijuana because of a higher tax. Users say they want to end the stigma surrounding pot use.
I'm an employed, functioning adult, and I also smoke weed, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
With the addition of recreational sales, the pot industry in California is expected to generate at least $1 billion in tax revenue annually. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Legalization advocates believe Rhode Island, Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Delaware could be the next states to pass recreational marijuana laws. A Billings man finished his 2017 New Year's resolution by working out on the final day of the year for 365 minutes. MTN's David J. brings us part of his more than 6 hours of fitness training.
Right hand plant, spread the fingers.
You know what's tough? That hot yoga, it gets nice and hot and nice because it warms your body up and you feel more flexible and works a lot of that core strength. Plus it makes you do some things that your body probably isn't used to doing, so again, kind of helps mix it up.
Leif Wellhaven works out in a hot yoga class at Black Orchid. He started his day at 6 with cardio work, lifting weights, a cycle class, and more lifting.
If you just keep doing the same thing over and over, you can get bored with it and then you could quit, and so try to do different things all the time.
Wellhaven played football, basketball, and was a track athlete at West High School and wanted to get back into shape.
December 31st is when I started last year and decided I wanted to lose 100 pounds and I wanted to work out every day for 365 days. Those were my first 2 goals.
I would really like to thank all of you for coming in this morning, getting on the roads and supporting Leif.
More than 50 helped celebrate Wellhaven's 365th workout day. And then it was back to Granite Fitness for his final workout hour of 2017.
Well, yesterday I was a little bit overwhelmed. I felt a little emotional just because I thought, gosh, I actually did it. I'm nearing the end of it, and so I'm kind of sad to see it end, but at the same time, it's really just the beginning. I just got to keep that healthy lifestyle up as I move on and hopefully live a longer, fuller, healthier life.
And he says his workouts have been good for his family.
My family has been really great. They've been very supportive. We cook differently now. We make better buying choices at the grocery store, buying better food. That's been a big part of it. Plus just changing our habits, our daily habits.
Happy 365th day of working out.
It's great for everybody, and I think everybody around me can feel probably the positive energy and the confidence, because it changes really how you look at things. And so I've just had this great, wonderful year, and I really attribute a lot of it to just making that decision to being a healthier me. And so hopefully people will see that and know that they can do it, because I'm nobody special. If I can do it, they can do it.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
And he says his goal this year includes running a half marathon. He'd also like to run the Spartan obstacle race in Kalispell. Well, up next, Aaron is back for the forecast for this first week of the new year. And President Trump returns to D.C. and he's talking about North Korea and the civil unrest in Iran. Stay with us.